Telomere Effect, the biological clock inside each of us. Today, we will explore together one of the most magical secrets inside the body, telomeres. Imagine our DNA is like shoelaces, and at each end of the lace, there is a small plastic tip to protect it from fraying. In the cellular world, those plastic tips are telomeres. 1. What are telomeres and why are they important? Telomeres are special repetitive DNA sequences located at both ends of each chromosome, helping to protect the genetic structure from damage during cell division. Each time a cell duplicates to create a new cell, the telomeres shorten a bit. It can be said that telomeres act like a countdown timer, recording the number of times a cell has divided, and when the telomeres become too short, the cell loses its ability to divide, and then dies. Telomeres are repetitive DNA sequences at the ends of chromosomes. They do not contain important genetic information, but their role is extremely significant. Protecting DNA. They protect the gene-containing part of our DNA from damage or sticking to other chromosomes. Ensuring stability. Without telomeres, chromosome ends would be mistaken by the cell as damaged DNA, leading to serious consequences. 2. The replication problem. Why do we age? Every time a cell divides to create a new cell, it must copy its entire DNA. However, this process has an inherent flaw. It cannot copy all the way to the end of the DNA strand. As a result, after each division, the telomere shortens a bit. This is why telomeres are called the biological clock, or the cell division counter. It records the number of times a cell has divided. When the telomere becomes too short, the cell can no longer divide and enters a state called cellular senescence, or self-destruction, apoptosis. The accumulation of these senescent cells in the body is one of the main causes of aging and age-related diseases. 3. The great paradox, aging and cancer. This is the most interesting part. Telomere shortening sounds bad, but in fact, it is an extremely intelligent protective mechanism of the body. The good side, cancer prevention. Limiting the number of cell divisions helps prevent uncontrolled growth, a characteristic of cancer. A normal cell cannot divide indefinitely to form a tumor because its telomeres will run out first. Negative aspect, causing aging. This protective mechanism is actually a factor contributing to our aging process as cells gradually lose their ability to regenerate. So how do cancer cells overcome this barrier? About 90% of cancers have found a way to hack the system by reactivating an enzyme called telomerase. Telomerase acts like a repair team capable of rebuilding telomeres, allowing cancer cells to become immortal and divide indefinitely. Negative aspect, causing aging. This protective mechanism is actually a factor contributing to our aging process as cells gradually lose their ability to regenerate. So how do cancer cells overcome this barrier? About 90% of cancers have found a way to hack the system by reactivating an enzyme called telomerase. Telomerase acts like a repair team capable of rebuilding telomeres, allowing cancer cells to become immortal and divide indefinitely. Factors that make the clock run faster, causing telomeres to shorten. Chronic stress, proven to be one of the strongest factors. Smoking, obesity, pollution cause oxidative stress and inflammation, damaging telomeres. And factors that help protect the clock. Slow down the shortening process. Regular exercise helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. Healthy diet, rich in fiber, antioxidants, found in vegetables and fruits, and omega-3. Getting enough sleep. Lesson learned. Telomeres are a great example of trade-offs in biology. The mechanism that protects us from cancer when we are young is also what contributes to aging when we get old. The most important thing we learned today is, although it is impossible to completely stop the aging process, our daily choices regarding diet, exercise, and stress management can make a real difference at the molecular level, helping to protect the biological clock and move towards a longer and healthier life. The effect of telomeres is undeniably profound, extending from the fundamental stability of our genetic code to the overarching processes of aging and disease. It is not a static structural component, but a dynamic biological system that acts as a multifaceted regulator of cellular life. A telomere simultaneously serves as a guardian of the genome, a clock for cellular aging, a formidable barrier against cancer, and a molecular archive recording an individual's accumulated history of stress and damage. The central paradox of telomere biology, the antagonistic role it plays in aging versus cancer, is the defining feature of its effect on human health, and the main challenge for therapeutic intervention. The same telomere shortening that protects a young person from malignancy contributes to their physiological decline decades later. This evolutionary trade-off highlights the delicate balance that must be navigated when attempting to manipulate this system. The central paradox of telomere biology, the antagonistic role it plays in aging versus cancer, is the defining feature of its effect on human health, and the main challenge for therapeutic intervention. The same telomere shortening that protects a young person from malignancy contributes to their physiological decline decades later. This evolutionary trade-off highlights the delicate balance that must be navigated when attempting to manipulate this system. Hopefully, today's lesson helps us better understand telomeres, from protectors of chromosomes to referees of aging, disease, and cancer. Please support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you.